Hey, it's good to see you again on Saturday. I just finished sweeping and mopping and vacuuming. Oh my gosh, we've been busy. I got a kid down there dusting right now. So, and I'm going to be cleaning toilets in a little bit and doing some cleaning of showers and stuff. But I just happened to see a comment on here from somebody. I think they said they were going into getting their masters or just got it, or that's awesome. That's great. And they were asking me for some tips on financial independence, moving into adulthood and, like having kids and, trying to be financially independent. So I'll give you again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, blah, 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 all the disclaimers. I'm just a regular person. I'll give you some of the things. I'll give you some tips that I do that may help you. Okay, first of all, cleaning. And this may not apply to you, but I know a lot of people in the area where I live, because I see the vans and the trucks and the cars all over the place. A lot of people around here pay cleaning companies to clean their house, like Mary Maids or Molly Maids. You'll see their little vans and their trucks and cars. It was kind of funny the other morning, bright and early, somebody rang my doorbell, and it was a lady from Mary Maids, and I said, no, I think you have the wrong house, but if you want to come in and clean, if it's paid for, I'll let you. She laughed. She said, no, let me check. She had the wrong house. Anyway, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with paying people to clean your house. And I know there are times when that might be a huge help. And I'm not judging. This is not to judge anybody or anything. Like I think back to when I had, when I first had my children, like the weeks after they were born, it would have been great to have somebody clean my house. I mean, that would have been so great. I didn't have that. It would have been really great to have somebody come in, or like if you're disabled, or, there are a million reasons why, you don't have to justify it to me. It's just, if you pay somebody to come clean your house, you don't have to justify that to anybody. But I don't do that, because I would rather take the money I would spend on that and put it toward other stuff. I mean, I would just rather put it towards other things. I've never paid anybody to clean my house. I don't pay anybody to mow my yard or anything like that. That's all stuff that my kids and I can do. And I think it's good if you have kids to teach them how to do that. They need to learn how to cook and clean. I don't care if they're boys or girls. They need to learn how to cook, and they need to learn how to clean. And learning to clean is something you do have to learn. You'd be surprised how many steps and things are involved in cleaning that you're not just going to automatically know. So they need to learn how to wash dishes by hand, in my opinion. They need to learn how to dust, mop, sweep. They need to know how to pick up and put away, clean up after themselves. And if I'm paying somebody to come in and clean up, they're not learning anything. I mean, and if I do it for them, they're not learning anything. So it's kind of good in two ways. It saves money and it teaches them some valuable life skills. So I don't spend money on that. The first thing you need to do if you're trying to get your finances in order, you're trying to save money, like maybe you're saving up to buy a house or a car or whatever. If you just want to be more financially independent, the first thing you need to do, I don't care where you are in life, the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out where all your money is going. So I'd say for a minimum of 2 weeks, preferably at least a month, you need a 30-day chunk of time, at least a full month. You need to see where every penny of your money goes. I'm talking about if you buy a candy bar out of a vending machine, you write that down. You put that $1.25 on your list. Everything you buy, put on there how much you spent and what you spend it on. And you can just do it in a notebook. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just a scrap of paper, whatever. Write it down. Put on there. Okay, well, I went through the drive-thru and I spent this much. Or I went to the grocery store and I spent this much. You need to put down, if I went out to eat, I spent this much. At the end of the month, I would say do at least a month. Honestly, I would do 3 months if possible. But the longer you do it, you're going to get a feel for where all your money's going. And I tell you, it's just like last year when I used the Noom app, because I had started working from home and I was slowly gaining weight. And I honestly couldn't understand why. I'm sitting here like, how? I don't eat that much. Why am I just steadily gaining weight? This is weird. So I decided to try the Noom app, and it's the same concept, but with, calorie intake. You have to account for everything you eat and drink. Everything. I don't care if you eat one Dorito. You have to. There's a place on there for individual chips. I ate one. You put that down. I chewed a piece of gum. You put that down. I was shocked. Within one day, I was shocked at the number of calories I was consuming without even realizing it. Just absentmindedly eating pretzels or a bagel. Like, I love these big bagels at Lidl. I love them, but they're almost 300 calories each. You eat 2 of those, that's 600 calories. And it doesn't feel like it, but it is. You can drink a lot of calories. Like if you drink regular Pepsi, or if you like a glass or 2 of wine at night, you got to put that in there. That'll sneak up on you. And over time, it can cause you to gradually gain weight. It's the same thing with money. You may sit there, and I hear people say this all the time. I used to work with people they would constantly complain that they never had any money. I'm always broke. I run out of money before I run out of month. And I don't know why. I'm being so careful with my money. But these same people, they would stop somewhere for breakfast on the way into work. They'd go through the drive-thru for breakfast. They'd go out for lunch 3, 4, 5 days a week. And then they were ordering something online to pick up for dinner. And I'm going, I didn't say anything to them because there's no point. Like, you are spending a lot of money going out to eat. And I know you don't think of it as going out to eat because you're not in like a sit-down restaurant or whatever. But if you would pack your lunch and stop going through that damn drive-thru 50 times a day, I think you'd be surprised how much more money you have. Add up how much you're spending on that every month and take that to the grocery store and see what you can buy if you're going to make your own food. I know it's not as convenient. It may not be as tasty, but it's probably better for you, and it's a whole lot cheaper. So the first thing you need to do is keep an account of every penny you spend. Because I know a lot of people who make good money, but they spend even more than that. They're making good money, but they're spending even better money, even bigger amounts of money. So every month they go in the hole. If more is going out than is coming in, you're going to go in the hole. Now, I know there are periods of time in life when that may be necessary, because I know as a single mom, when my kids were little, it was basic math. My life was more expensive than I could afford. Back when I was paying $1,100 a month just for daycare, that doesn't account for anything else. That was just daycare for 2 kids. That was more than my mortgage payment was. It was hard. It was damn hard. But I guess in a way I'm lucky because I grew up with no money. I know what it's like to have to tighten your belt and do without. And you'd be surprised what you can go without if you need to. And I just tightened my belt a lot. We did not have anything fancy. We did not go on expensive trips. Fortunately, back then my mom was in a different frame of mind, and she liked to go to the beach. And what we would do is she would pay for the place to stay, and then I would buy food for the week or the 3 or 4 days or whatever we were there. I would bring food, and she would pay for the place. That way it kind of helped her out a little bit, helped me out a lot, because I couldn't afford a place to stay at the beach. But if it weren't for that, we would have had no vacation for years. That was the only vacation we got to take every summer for years. That's all. I couldn't afford to go anywhere. So I was really grateful for that. So, okay. Financial independence is not something you're going to master overnight. It is not going to be fun. You're going to have to sacrifice. And I know everybody's in a different position. And this is going to sound mean, and I don't mean it to. You can make all the excuses in the world for why you can't do better financially. I could have easily made tons of excuses. Well, I'm a single mom. Well, this, well, that. Well, I'm not getting any child support or anything else. Feel sorry for me. I'm pitiful. That's not going to pay your bills, though. You can sit around and complain, but it's not going to fix anything. There's nothing wrong with having a little pity party every now and then, but eventually you got to dry your eyes and move on, and you got to just keep working toward doing better. You got to get up and move on. Don't sit around feeling bad. If you're in a bad financial situation because you made some poor choices financially, and we've all been there. I have. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and try your best not to repeat them in the future. I try to make all new mistakes all the time. I want to make new mistakes every day. Don't keep repeating the same mistake. And I know people who do that. Don't keep making the same mistake over and over again. Okay. So keep account of your money. See where all your money's going. That right there might be a real eye-opener for you. You may look at that list and go, holy shit, I had no idea I was spending so much on that. Oh God, when you add it up for a whole month, that's a lot. If you're going out to eat a lot, if you're getting your hair and nails done a lot, and again, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just trying to explain. I'm just stating some facts. It's not free to get that stuff done. It is expensive. And if you have debt, you need to be working on paying your debt off. And that may mean doing without some stuff. You may need to do your own nails. I do my own nails. You may need to find another way to pamper yourself, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm saying if you do it a whole lot, you might want to cut back. I'm not a big fan of debt. I don't like debt. I hated being in debt. And I was in debt for years when my kids were smaller. The only debt I have now is my house. I do not drive a new car. I do not have fancy things, but it's all paid for. It's all paid for. My car is 7 years old, but it runs great. That's another thing. Don't think you have to have a new thing every year or every 2 years. I need a new car. Do you though? Sometimes it's cheaper to keep her. If your car is running, you may need to have things done to it occasionally, but as long as it's cheaper than a car payment, I would say keep it. Your taxes are going to be lower. Your insurance is going to be lower. Because that's one thing a lot of people don't take into account when they buy a new car or a new vehicle. Your taxes are going to go up when you pay your property taxes. You're going to have to pay property taxes. If you live in a place where you have to pay that, I think in most parts of the United States, you have to pay property taxes. You definitely do here. Unfortunately, I'm in a county where our taxes are hella high. Holy shit, our taxes are high. And they just jacked them up again. Yay! You also have to pay, you're going to have to pay insurance on that car, auto insurance. That's going to go through the roof if you buy a new car. And that's one thing I love about my car is every year it goes down a little bit more. I'm going to drive that car till I can't drive it anymore. I don't need a new car. I have no interest in going to get another car. I like my car. I don't care if it's not new. I don't give a shit. It runs great. It's very dependable. It's really good on gas, And that's another thing. If you're looking at getting a car, you need to consider, is this car going to be expensive to maintain and operate? Whether it's electric or gas or whatever. Look at the long-term costs and the financial obligations you're going to have if you buy this vehicle. Like if you buy an electric car, you might want to find out how much it would cost to replace the battery in it, because eventually you're going to have to do that, and you might be shocked to find out how much that costs. How much is the insurance? How much are the taxes? Because that's all stuff you're going to have to pay. You need to incorporate that into your budget. I'm going to have to pay those things on a regular basis. It's not just the cost of the vehicle, it's everything that goes along with it. The most important thing though is the accounting. Just keep track of how much you're spending and really take a good hard look at it. You may not want to look at it. You may not want to know. It's like, I don't care. You need to know, because if you ever want to be financially independent, you need to have an intimate knowledge, an intimate understanding of how much money is coming in and how much is going out, and what you can do to lessen the amount that comes in and lessen the amount that goes out and increase the amount that comes in. And one thing, I've always had my little side gig of eBay. I've been doing eBay for over 20 years, and it's a wonderful way to make a few extra dollars. It's not for everybody, but there, you might be able to find a side gig somewhere, get a part-time job, or whatever works for you. I mean, everybody's in a different situation. Everybody can do different things. But if you need more money, you can start looking for ways to make more money. whether it's selling stuff online or driving for Uber or DoorDash or whatever, or yeah, getting a part-time job or something. There are a lot of different ways you can make money. If you know how to play the piano, maybe you could give piano lessons or something. I don't know. It's just a thought. But yeah, look for ways to increase your money. You could ask for a raise. That's something I've never had the guts to do, but you could try asking for a raise if you've worked in a place for a long time, and they may or may not be in a position to give you one. But it's the worst they could do is say no. I mean, it might not hurt to ask. But again, this is not financial advice. These are just the musings of a regular person. Yeah, so shoot, there was something else I was gonna, this is something that I started when I was 27 years old and have continued to do every month since. You need to be putting some money away in a 401k or something every month. I don't care if it's just $20. Skip a dinner out and cook at home and take that money and put it into a 401k. Even if you're just putting a little bit in there, it's going to add up over time. You need to start thinking ahead to retirement. And a lot of young people are not thinking about retirement. I can't afford to think about it. You can't afford not to. If you don't start saving now in your 20s and 30s for retirement, you're going to be in for a hell of a shock when you get into your 50s and 60s, and you're going to go, oh, holy shit, I have no money for retirement. What the hell am I going to do? I mean, unless you want to work forever. I mean, I would like to have the option to not work forever if possible. But even when I was struggling financially, I still put, it wasn't a lot. I would put maybe $30 a month into my 401k because I couldn't afford anymore legitimately. But I never stopped putting money in there, and I still put money in there every month. And I'm even the stock market has taken a beating lately, but I'm still happy with what I got in there. It's something, it's something that I can look at and go, one day maybe I can retire. But I've been doing it now. I'm 48, so I've been doing it for over 20 years, every month for over 20 years, 21 years. It's not always easy, but nobody said life was going to be easy. Okay. Life is hard. Life is hard. It's messy. It's frustrating. And it's not fair. It's not. You don't have, I bet if you went back to your ancestors who lived generations ago and you told them what was hard about your life, quite frankly, they would probably laugh at you. They would probably laugh. Mine would too. They would laugh like, that's a struggle? That really? Oh, bless your heart. Yeah. 4 of my children died during the Spanish flu. What are you complaining about? Yeah, but again, I'm not belittling anybody. I'm not making fun, but I'm just saying your ancestors made it, or you wouldn't be here. You can do it too. You can make it. But it may be a sacrifice. It may be a struggle. You also need to really take a good hard look at what you consider to be wants and needs. You need to look at what you consider to be a necessity in life, because a lot of those things may not really be necessities. Starbucks is not a necessity. Going through the car wash and spending $20 getting them to wash your car is not a necessity. Spending lots of money on frou-frou is not a necessity. If you're really looking at paying down debt, which is very important. If you want to be financially independent, you're going to have to deal with your debt. And it's not fun, and you're not going to be able to do it overnight. I didn't get my debt paid off overnight. It took years to pay off my debt. If you ever want to be able to buy a house, you're going to have to pay off debt. You're going to have to work on your credit score. You need to know, do you know what your credit score is? Have you looked at your credit report? You need to do that. If you have been putting off doing it, you're sitting there. It's almost like going to the dentist. I don't want to know. I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with it. You have to. You're going to have to grow up, put on your big people panties and look at it. You're going to have to look at it. You need to know what your credit score is. Look at your credit reports, see what on there you can work on. There might be past due stuff on there that you need to take care of. You're going to have to be a big have to be a big boy or a big girl. You're going to have to do it. Part of being an adult is doing shit on your own with nobody to tell you to do it. You're going to have to do it on your own. You're going to have to start taking the initiative to fix your own shit. Other people are not going to fix it for you. Unless you're one of these people who, mom and daddy have been paying all your shit for years, which I actually feel sorry for you, because one of these days they're going to be dead and gone and there's not going to be anybody to save you anymore. And I've personally seen that happen. I better not say who, but I know somebody who had 3 kids and they spoiled the hell out of all 3 of them and then died and left them very little money, and their lives are now completely wrecked because they are adult. They're like adult babies. Like, they don't have any idea how to do anything for themselves, like pay bills or take care. They don't have a clue how to live as an adult because mama took care of everything for them. I feel sorry for people like that, frankly, because you were cheated out of some valuable life lessons that you need in order to be a functioning adult in society, and that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. So you need to know the difference between wants and needs, and you might want to work on those wants. If you spend a lot of money on them, you might want to find less expensive things to do for fun or whatever. There are plenty of things you can do that don't cost anything. And take that money and put it towards your debt. So this ended up being a little bit longer than I meant for it to. A little quick advice, and again, this is not financial advice at all. You need, if you need financial advice, you need to talk to a financial advisor, not me. I'm just some Yahoo on the internet. Okay, if you want to buy a house, the first thing you do need to do is get your financial shit together. You need to get as much debt paid off as possible. Bring your credit score up. Work on your credit report. Pay off debt. You're going to need money. You're going to need cash. Because when you buy a house, it's an expensive process. I would not buy more house than you can afford. Of course, with interest rates going up, that's harder to do now. Adjustable rate mortgages, I would avoid them like the plague. Don't let anybody talk you into getting one. Look into ARMs and you'll find out why. The payments may start out small. They damn sure don't stay that way. I would not do it. I would not do an adjustable rate mortgage. Do a fixed rate, 15, 30 year, whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. Those are making a comeback, which I cannot believe, but they are. I was hoping that they would just go the way of the dodo. Like, that shouldn't even be an option, in my opinion. There may be a place and time for it, but for most people, I don't do it. It may be tempting because you're looking at it like, well, I would own a home. Yeah, but for how long? I mean, are you going to be able to pay those big payments? What about a balloon payment? Can you afford that? Most people can't. And then you have the crash like you had in 2008 where a lot of people lost their homes because they just couldn't afford to pay for it. You will feel like you are hemorrhaging money for quite a while when going through the process of buying a house. Because it's like every other day something else comes up that you have to pay for. Oh, I need $300 for this. Oh, I need $200 for that. Oh, I need $400 for this. God, it is something all the time. And, these days too, it's the seller's market for houses. I think it's not going to stay that way much longer, in my opinion. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm not really sure what's going to happen to the housing market, but I'm thinking maybe I give it till next winter, and I think the housing market is going to bottom out. I think it's going to crash, and I think it's going to be worse than 2008, just for multiple factors that you see going on. For multiple reasons, I think it's going to be really bad. I think there are going to be a lot of foreclosures. I think there's going to be a lot of new construction that they cannot offload. If I were looking to buy a house, I'd wait. I wouldn't buy it now. I would wait until about next fall or winter. But it would depend on how things go. So if I could wait, I would wait. Because I think there's going to be a lot more inventory. You will be in a better position to bargain, and it will give you extra time to pay off debt and save up money. But again, that is not financial advice. That's just, if I were looking to buy a house, that's what I would do. Just from looking at the trends and things going on with the housing market in the country, I would wait. I would not buy a house right now. I would wait, because I don't know how far the prices are going to come down, but you will have more choices and you will be in a better bargaining position with sellers in about a year and a year and 3 or 4 months, year and a half. But that's just that doesn't necessarily apply to everybody. But yeah, if you're going to buy a house, just in my opinion, the most important thing to do right now will be to pay off your debt and save money wherever you can. Just put some money away and save it, because you're going to need it for all kinds of things in the process of buying a home that you may not anticipate right now. But yeah. So it's a process. It's a long process. It could take weeks, months. It could take years. You're going to have downfalls. You're going to have unexpected expenses. The most important thing is to keep going and keep trying to do better. Like me, I drive a used car. I shop in thrift stores for most of my clothes. I've been doing that forever. I still do it. I shop at Aldi and Walmart for my groceries. I could go to a more expensive grocery store. We have plenty of fancy, higher priced grocery stores that I could shop in. But why? I mean, why pay $6 for an item that I can get the exact same thing at Walmart for $4? You see what I mean? I save money wherever I can. I will never stop doing that. These have been habits all my life. They will continue to be habits. It wouldn't matter if I had $1 billion in the bank. I would still do that, because I like money and I don't like wasting it on stuff. So I don't know if any of this helps. I don't know. These are just the ramblings of, like I said, I'm just a Yahoo on the internet. But I'm on my own. Nobody, if I get in trouble financially, nobody's going to come help me. I'm on my own. I'm raising 2 kids by myself. I am a homeowner. It's not paid for. My house is not paid for, but I do pay a little extra on it every month. That's another good thing to do if you can. I pay like $100 extra a month toward the principal on my house. And that, you'd be surprised how much of a difference that will make and how fast you can pay your house off. If you can make like 1 extra payment a year, you won't believe how much faster you can pay it off, just putting it towards the principal every year. If you do the calculation on that, I think you'd be shocked how much money you can save in interest. All that money in interest you would have had to pay on that money over time. It's amazing. It's amazing the difference it can make. So, if you want to be financially independent as an adult, first of all, you have to be an adult and you have to understand. And I'm not lecturing you. I'm just saying somebody needs to hear this. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to follow up with you to make sure you're doing it. If you want to go spend $200 in a nice restaurant, nobody's going to scold you for that. Nobody's going to be there to tell you no. That credit card they'll let you use, that credit card will work. If you have any money on there, you'll be able to use your credit card for that, but you're going to have to pay it off. As the old saying goes, if you want to dance, you got to pay the band. So you have to decide whether or not that dance is worth it. And for me, a $200 meal is not worth it. No, I would rather stay at home, pick up a couple of steaks from Publix or wherever, some nice steaks, and cook them at home myself. I'd rather do that. If I wanted a fancy dinner, I would just make it myself. But that's me. And I really am a pretty simple person. I don't need fancy things. I don't need a nice car. I don't need expensive clothes. I don't give a rat's ass what other people think of my car or my clothes or my purse or my shoes. I don't give a shit. They don't pay your bills, so don't worry about it. You just quietly work toward building your empire. This is my empire, such as it is, as I sit here on the floor giving you a tub-side chat. I'm not in the tub. I don't know why I like sitting in here. I feel very centered in here for some reason. Plus the lighting in here is almost angelic this afternoon. I look like I have Vaseline on the filter. It has a nice smoky haze to it. I've not been smoking in here. It's just, I have this clear plastic shower curtain and it's kind of frosted because it's old. And you can see the soap's going. Nice. That's another thing I'm doing is replacing my shower curtain. So, yeah, you can do it. I know you can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It takes time. It's like when I realized I was slowly gaining weight. Okay, I need to change the way I behave. I need to change my behaviors then, don't I? You need to change your spending habits. First of all, you have to acknowledge your spending habits. You have to look at them, and then you can work on changing them. But first, you got to see what they are, and that's why you need to keep track of everything you're spending your money on. Keep track of how much is coming in and how much is going out and where that money is going. I think you will be shocked. I bet you, if you did that for a month, I bet there would be at least one expense on there that would make you go, wow. I had no idea I was spending that much on that. I had no idea, because there are a lot of people who will say, I have no money. I have no money. No, you have money, but you're spending it unwisely. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. And too many people were not taught how to manage their money. I was lucky. My parents taught me how to save money. I had to work for money. We had a lot of chores, my brother and me, every week. And we would get for a long time, we got $2 a week. And then we got $5 a week. But we were doing more chores because we were getting bigger and we could do more things. If we wanted anything, we would have to save up our allowance to buy it. If you want a $30 item, you're going to have to work for 6 weeks to save up that $30. And my mom and dad were very, they didn't help. No. You can do extra chores. I might give you an extra $1. But if you want that $30 item, you're going to work for it. You're going to pay for it yourself. And don't forget you need tax on that too. So you're going to need money for tax. I'm not paying for your tax either. And it may seem mean to some people, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm so glad they did that, because I learned you have to be patient. You have to be patient. We live in a right now society. We live in a world that is just like right now. I want it right now. It's the microwave generation. I want it right now, immediately, ready for me. It's not going to work that way. You're not going to get there overnight. And I don't want you to get frustrated because it's not going to happen right away. Don't get frustrated. You can do it. You could even make like a chart. You could start get a piece of poster board or something. Like the United Way has that little thermometer thing, and they show their progress. You fill in the little lines as you get up to your goal. You could have a goal, like say you were saving up to buy, I don't know, like you were saving up to pay, you've got this bill that's $1,200. Oh my God, I don't have $1,200. Okay. Maybe you can work out a payment plan with whoever the company is. You can pay them a certain amount every month, and you fill in that thing until you reach your goal. And you won't believe how good it feels. It feels like a weight is lifted off when you get your debt paid off. It really is. It is like a weight is lifted off of you. And it's like a springboard, and you feel even more motivated to do even more. You want to keep going, like, all right, what's next? I want to do something else. Let's pay off the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I've been there. I've had to go through it. Trust me, I have had to start over from less than 0 to 3, at least 3 different times in my life. I've had to start over from 0 or below 0. Honey, I know. And it can seem like you are never going to get there. Like there is no light at the end of this tunnel. There is. Just keep going. I know it feels awful. I know it feels like you're never going to get there, but you will. But you're the only one who can do it. You're going to have to keep going. Another thing, I just thought of this. Another thing I thought of is if you need things, like say you just moved out on your own and you don't have any furniture. It's just one example, because this is something I know somebody personally that I've talked to about this. I need furniture. I don't have any furniture. Oh my gosh. And they went to one of these rent-to-own places. And fortunately, they didn't. I would avoid rent-to-own. They are going, in my opinion, it's a scam. If you look at how much you're going to pay these people for that stuff, it is not worth it. Don't do it. If you need furniture, and I know a lot of people will curl their nose up at this, like, ew. Look in consignment shops, secondhand stores. You can find furniture in there. I know you have, you get the heebie-jeebies of thought of you. My furniture's used. It is. I found out something interesting too. I found this comfy stuffed chair and a matching footstool at Goodwill not too long ago. It was $40. I found them online. Those damn things are $400. It was like brand new. I paid $40 for it. Holy shit. My sofa came from Goodwill. My coffee table came from Goodwill. My Papasan chair came from a thrift store up in Waukegan, Illinois. My side table, I have a floor lamp down there in my living room. I bought all that at thrift stores for practically nothing, for less than 1 week's rent at a rent-to-own place. So if you need furniture, you could look on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. It may be a little bit harder to get it to your house. If you don't have a way to get it to your house, you may have to enlist some help to get it to your place, or to move it. But it's worth it, because you will not have to spend thousands of dollars for furniture. Now, I would buy the mattress new. All of our mattresses are new. I'm not buying a used mattress, but my mattress, it's a memory foam mattress that I got on Amazon for $200. It is not fancy, but I love it. I absolutely love my mattress. Oh, it is awesome. It is so great. All of our mattresses came from Amazon, and they're all nice memory foam mattresses, and they were not expensive. I mean, have you seen how much mattresses are? Holy shit. So there are cheaper ways to do things, and you might have to do a little bit of research, a little bit of looking around, but the internet is a wonderful thing. You can look up all kinds of ways to get what you need for a better price. You can save money on all kinds of things. Yeah, secondhand stores are great if you need clothes or furniture, basic housewares, all kinds of like dishes, glasses. They have all that stuff, and I know, again, maybe that's just too gross for you, but I'm just saying it's an option, and I do it. Hell, I've been doing it my entire adult life. I've been out on my own since I was 17 years old, and I knew I was on my own, and if I failed, it was gonna, there wasn't anybody there to help me. I was on my own. I've known that for a very long time, and that's a hell of a motivator. Like, well, if you fail, I wonder what the hell's gonna happen to you, so don't fail. Pick yourself up and keep going. So anyway, this turned out to be a lot longer than I expected. I do apologize, but I hope this helps somebody. Again, not financial advice, not anything like that, but you can be financially better off a year from now from where you are right now. You can make a lot of progress in a year. Little steps along the way, a little bit at a time, a little bit every day. And you can do it. You absolutely can. So yeah, but start out figuring out where all your money's going. Figure out the difference between wants and needs, and you need to be setting aside some money for your retirement. You need to be putting some money in a 401k or something. You need to do that. Most young people are not doing it. Unless you want to work until you die, I would highly recommend doing that. I know it seems impossible, but if you just do $20, $30 a month, it'll make a difference. So anyway, I hope this helps. Yeah, I guess the floor downstairs is dry. I just finished mopping it, so I'm gonna go down there and get back to work and put everything back. We get everything up off the floor as much as possible so we can mop. I gotta go down there and get everything put back, and then I've got some more housework to do and toilets to scrub, and yeah, so glamorous. When you're a boss bitch, it ain't all fun and glamour. Sometimes you gotta scrub toilets too, so I don't care, it's fine. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. I hope this helps somebody, and I will see you again soon.